You're listening to a Rev FM production podcast. Welcome to Pastors Live, the show that discusses things of the Bible and current events for people who love to laugh. And now, the hosts who answer questions with more questions. It's Pastors Dave, Ty, Shane, and the other guy.
And good Friday to everybody. It's Pastors Live. It is St. Nicholas Day. For those of you who don't know, it is St. Nicholas Day. It is also...
He's one of my favorite saints.
Is St. Nicholas one of
He's
your
one of my
favorites?
favorite saints.
Yeah.
Sure.
Never... By the way,
St. Patrick is obviously what...
Yeah, you're first, yeah. But St.
Top
Nicholas is interesting because he was never known to dress in red.
Right.
Until Coca-Cola got a handle on him and then added about 70 pounds and put him in a red suit. So just so you guys know, the St. Nicholas that we see today and all the hats and all the red and all that stuff, well, that is not... That's all advertising. Thank you, Coca-Cola Company. That's, so that's that. And of course, that means every time you go see I have actually seen somebody dressed correctly in the greens and browns. Dave, have you ever seen that? Where somebody's like doing that for like visiting kids or things like that? I saw a guy that was visiting a children's hospital that was that more traditionally.
As the Grecian
exactly.
vibe,
yeah, the Grecian vibe. I was like, oh, well, that at least looks more accurate.
There you go.
He doesn't look like an overweight man that there's no way he's getting down a chimney. But no, we've got some other things. But it's National Microwave Day.
Everybody knows that it's magic.
Right. Yes.
He doesn't really slide down the chimney. I mean, he does, but not really. This is for the children that are listening. And the parents who are going, well, wait just a second here. Oh, come on, folks. We're trying to be kind.
That's right. So, but when was the first, do you remember the first time you guys experienced a microwave? But first of all, we got some great guys in the studio. So we got Gary Austin.
Hey,
he's here today. Man, myth, legend, guy under glass. We got Pastor Dave here today.
God bless you guys.
Pastor Steve is coming
Hello.
today. Pastor Shane is in the Philippines, checking on our missionaries. And awesome. Brad and Haley and making sure they're doing good. And we're hoping he got through customs okay.
Right?
Yeah, because that was the we're hoping we don't get a phone call from any kind of government official. So because he was taking gifts to them and stuff like that. So we're hoping that goes well.
Well, what we're really hoping is that he didn't have to pay a bunch of taxes on the gifts that he's bringing in.
Was that word taxes in air quotes, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Taxes in air quotes. Yes.
Yeah, I think the Greek word for taxes is bribes. I'm not sure, but anyway.
I think bribos.
Excuse me.
It says like multiple, right?
There you go. Yeah.
So, but we were talking before the mics went live. We were actually talking about baseball and some other things. We got some great Bible readings today. 1 John 5, and then Proverbs 29, Psalm 125, 1 Chronicles 16. As we're making our way through the Bible together, encouraging you guys to read the Bible. If you want to join along with us, you can go to watersprings.net and follow along. If you'd like to send us a comment or a question, you can send that to pastorslive@therev.fm, pastorslive@therev.fm. And we have got I felt bad the other day when we totally failed on this. So you guys met Casey and Simeon when they were here, right? Did you guys?
The two young men from Calvary Bible Institute?
Yeah. So the whole time, we forgot to bring Simeon in here and take a picture with him in the studio that whole week. And then we could send it to James and said, he is real. It's not a figment of your imagination.
I'm staying out of the conversation. Notice. Take note.
Yeah, Dave's abstaining for I did. I felt like I failed. That. Yes. Yeah, I've met him.
Well, in reality, that will reinforce everything that we've actually seen him, but we were unable to
get a picture.
If anything, it confirms.
It confirms the delusion.
It confirms the delusion. The delusion is the correct. You were talking a minute ago about the importance of reading the scriptures. I actually feel like if baseball commissioner Rob Manfred were to read the scriptures, he might understand the concept of personal responsibility.
Correct. Well, yes, but also he would also understand what the real golden rule is, because the real golden rule is found in Matthew 7:12.
Thank you.
Where it says, do unto others, where in everything you do what you want somebody else to do to you. And then
really quickly on that, real quick, the Buddha lived prior to Christ, and Jesus said, "All who came before me were thieves and liars." So whenever one of my Buddhist friends, and I have a few, tell me, the Buddha was before Christ, I say, I know. And that's why Jesus said, all who were before me were thieves and liars. Right. But the Buddha, his teaching was that you don't do to others what you don't want to have done to you. Jesus just flips that around, man. Puts it on. No. Do to others what you would have them do unto you. So for those of you that are interested in such concepts and how kind of some of those things come about, I find that interesting. But yes, go ahead. Golden rule.
Yeah. Well, the golden rule is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so if you, and the worst thing now is, okay, I've always stopped for motorists. Like if somebody's on the I make sure they have water. Do they have a phone? Did they call? Right. Do I need to go into town? Because this was before cell phones. Right. So there were times that you pull over, they're just stuck there, and you drive into town to get them some help. Right. Because there were no phones, and so, but then all of a sudden people started using that as a way to hurt people, as a way to rob people, and now you become kind of leery. It's like. Because why? Because our culture was based upon helping your neighbor, loving your neighbor, doing the right thing. And I still think we need to do that. I still think we need to be a people that are willing to do for others. But it's so weird because we have people that they say there's things in the Bible that aren't in the Bible, right? Like, clean your room because the Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness, right? And it doesn't say that. It's that, there's just so much of it. And then, of course, there's, God won't give you more than you can handle. That's the worst one, right?
He does it every day.
Yeah, that's right. On purpose.
He lives in that realm of giving you more than you can handle.
For a reason, so you can bear the load, right? That the testing of our faith.
That you run to Him.
Right, you're testing of our faith. And speaking of testing of our faith, I have some baseball questions. We're going to have to get to the golden rule in baseball in a minute, or could be that. But I need to ask you guys a question. So, Steve, so what is it when a pitcher balks? I don't understand that.
The pitcher, when there's a runner on, well, I think it's changed a little bit. But
key phrase there, right?
Yeah, when there's a runner on base.
Oh, runner on which base?
Like say first
Does it matter?
base.
Okay.
Because second base, it's hard to balk, but you can.
Yeah.
Because, but if there's a runner on first or third or whatever, and the pitcher is set, comes into its set position before he throws the ball.
So he's in the windup.
He's in the windup.
And that's another key.
Yeah.
And
got to have a runner on first or third, especially. Second, but runner on base, and the pitcher is in the windup.
He's in the windup, so he's set, and he makes a move to throw to first or something, doesn't throw the ball, that's a balk. If he jerks, now I don't know if the rules changed, but if he jerks a little bit and doesn't throw the ball to first, then it's a balk.
Okay, so
now if he steps off
if he doesn't take his foot off the rubber,
doesn't take the foot off the rubber
and throws to where the runner is, that's
so
a
balk.
If
he steps off the rubber and then looks at first or something, it's not a balk because he took his foot off the rubber.
Oh, okay, so it's all right. But now can a catcher balk?
No.
So, because that's what I saw the other day. They called a balk on a catcher.
Well, because it's catcher interference is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, they called it a balk, but it's a catcher's interference.
So the runner from third comes in and scores.
If it's catcher's interference, then
it's catcher's interference, the runner is awarded the next base.
Right.
Even if it's home.
So if a guy's on third, he'll score.
Okay, so it was probably catcher's interference, but they called it a balk.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and I thought,
people were making a thing about it. They're like, "There's no catcher's balk; it's a catcher's interference." Like he came out in front of the batter,
right?
And that's a catcher's interference. If he interferes with the batter, during a play, then that's what it's called.
Think of televangelists.
Okay, all right.
Interfering with the gospel.
Interfering, yeah. So that's right. There's no catcher's balk.
I need that plane.
I saw a play where called a balk or something on a catcher, and it's like, no, that's not.
Well, because I played. Right. Okay, so you guys, okay. Let me clarify. You guys played baseball, and I want to clarify that.
Well, we sort of live and breathe baseball. I mean, I live and breathe the gospel, but. Man, where Steve and I differ a little bit. Steve played much more than I did, and we both coached. I'm more of a baseball mechanic. I love the mechanics of baseball. If I'm watching a game, I'm thinking, what should a manager be calling? Where should players be positioned on the field? What should the batter be looking for? I love the mechanics of I love it. It's like chess.
And I'm calling pitches as the pitcher's
and you're calling
pitching.
pitchers, yeah. Pitches.
Yeah, so in the different situations, I'll say, all right, he should throw this ball.
And when I was coaching, I would always say to my guys, heading toward the plate, right, they're up to bat, think like a pitcher. Don't think like a hitter. Think like a pitcher. What's this guy throwing at me? Because I already know what I want you to do. Minimum when I'm playing with the younger players, I would say minimum I want you to hit it hard somewhere. But I would always ask my hitters, what's your plan? When they're making their way to the plate, what's your plan? Don't go out there without a plan. What's your plan? Are you hitting to the right? Are you hitting to the left? Are you laying down a bunt? Blah, blah, blah. And, of course, I'm trying to call what I can call from the dugout, right? But I would always say to them, think like a pitcher. And that's hard for some, some players.
So here's an interesting thing regarding the gospel, right? So when a pastor goes out or when you're going to share, you need to think like the person who's receiving the message.
Athens, right?
Right.
Acts 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I don't feel that Paul failed in that moment. He was interrupted. I don't like it when they're like, oh yeah, he messed up. I said, no.
I don't think he messed up. It wasn't a successful, it was not the success he wanted it to be, but it was because he got interrupted.
Yeah.
Right? When he mentioned the resurrection before he mentioned the cross, and they said, well, that's it. We don't want to hear about this zombie gospel, people coming back from the dead, whatever. And they interrupted him. And it was like, oh, I think Paul was moving to the cross. And the Athenians,
Well, and it's an interesting thing because we need to actually know, like we need to have a game plan. Like, you said, like you never get behind a pulpit because you got to say something. You get behind a pulpit because you have something to say.
Yep.
You're better off to, if you're not prepared as a pastor, you're better off just to have a prayer service and let people, focus on that and not get all caught up in, you trying to figure out what you're going to say, from the pulpit.
You can't figure it out in the pulpit.
Yeah, you just, when you don't you never work your theology out from the pulpit. But you've got to know, you've got to understand the scriptures in order to share the scriptures. And so that's why we encourage people to do that, to know the word of God, to be studying it and understand it. And
so are we going to talk about this golden rule?
Yeah, well, see, because we started with the golden rule, like Jesus's golden rule, right?
That's
which
weird.
is do unto others. But, for the baseball people, there's apparently
they're trying to ruin the game.
It seems like they're going to
all these new rules. It doesn't make sense.
By the way, what is it? So in my lifetime, it's been in like the last 2 years that every sport is like adding all these new rules.
Yeah, they're wanting more people to watch, and they want it to be.
What's
more? I don't know.
Well, they thought if they sped up the game,
yeah,
more people would watch. And I've just always felt like, no, I get it. Baseball's a smart person's game, so it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
Can they speed up golf?
It really isn't.
Hey, when can they speed up golf? A golf game? Can we speed up golf?
What are you going to do though? You're going to put the whole 100 yards from the tee at every hole.
They have like a hit timer where they have so long to hit the ball or something from the tee.
Well, but isn't that weird? It's like we're trying to fix baseball. We're doing things with football, but we're not adding all these things to a sport, golf.
Or tennis.
Right?
Well, is that what it is?
It's a sport. Hey, it's not like rugby, but okay.
No, it's not.
So
that would be
what do you see in golf?
We could add that to the game.
There you go. So So in golf, full contact, that'd be cool.
Yeah, 15 seconds or this linebacker's going to tackle you.
Right?
In the tee box.
That's right.
Chasing you down the fairway.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think the Irish already have that. It's called hurling.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so in golf, though, you have, 4 or 5 different camera crews. Because nobody's following just one, one foursome.
They're at all the holes, I guess.
Because then you would lose all of your viewers. It's like, oh my goodness, come on. So
it'd be like being there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'd be like being there. Almost as exciting. Anyway, so the new golden rule in baseball. Commissioner Rob Manfred is floating this one out there. It's called the golden rule. And Steve, as I understand it, any team at any time can take their best hitter and put them up to bat at any time during the game.
Just once.
For one time per game.
Yeah,
absolute dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's ridiculous. It's like getting rid of the designated hitter, or
wouldn't that be
putting the designated hitter in the National League?
Right.
I think the pitcher should hit.
Doesn't it feel though? But it kind of feels like a cheat, like a legalized cheat.
It is.
There you go. Yeah, it's like saying you're on a diet, but once a week you can go out and eat a whole stuffed crust, meat lovers pizza. Don't worry about it. You're still going to lose weight. No, you're not.
I'm a Phillies fan, so it's like that would be great.
Good
then,
for you guys.
Because then Bryce Harper could hit twice, and anytime again.
There you go. He could hit twice
Schwarber,
in the same inning,
Schwarber.
even if you didn't go through all 9. Right.
So let me ask you a question. Yeah. Is it because, and I'm going to tie this back to the Bible here in a second. Are they doing this because they're trying to make the game more exciting, or what do you because if we add this rule, then at any moment the whole game could change.
They want more offense.
Baseball's a defensive game, so I mean,
and as a pitcher, I don't want runs. I want to strike everybody out. So.
Right? Yeah. Are they trying to make it more exciting?
You're probably right about that, Ty. I think they want to make it more exciting. If you're a fan, you want to see, if you're a Mariners fan, let's pick a different team. Oh, sorry, I meant the Blue Jays.
Or the Rockies.
Woo, doggy.
Sorry, Tim.
Terrible. But what were we talking about? Yeah.
Trying to make it more exciting.
I was going to say, you said you want to strike everybody out. Here's an interesting thing. How many pitches are in the perfect inning?
9.
No. Nolan Ryan said 3.
Oh!
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
The perfect inning is 3 pitches because you want your defense doing their job. Right?
Yep. But I'd like to strike out 20 batters, so.
Well, you would, but there you go.
Right.
The perfect inning is 3 pitches,
in Little
right?
League.
Three pitches, 3 outs. That's what you want.
3 up, 3 down.
One of the records, I had 15 strikeouts in one game. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's good.
College, high school.
It was Little League.
In Little League.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. T-ball. Yeah.
When I was.
Is that when we start keeping records in T-ball?
Yeah. When I was 8, I played against the 10-year-olds.
Nice.
And I struck out a bunch of batters. So they put your name on the wall.
Oh,
it was pretty cool.
So
my brother had the record.
He had in Florida.
My brother had the record. He had 19 strikeouts in one game. One guy got to hit the ball. It was crazy.
Oh man!
Crazy,
so
man.
Okay, so here's the thing then. So we talk about a Bible teacher needing to have a plan. Like you tell your guys, hey, what do you plan? What's your plan? Right. So you need to have a plan where you're teaching the Bible. But I think one of the things we have to be very careful of, especially as pastors, is being salacious or doing something to try and make something that is already alive and powerful and exciting and amazing. We try to do something to draw people in, like this whole thing, like changing all these rules in sports, trying to get people more interested in it. Well, sometimes people do that from the pulpit. They try to do something to make the Bible something, and they try to do that thing, and it's like, just teach the Bible verse by verse,
add weird
line by line. Yeah. Dave, I had an interesting conversation with Dr. Allen, who was part of the translation team for the New King James Bible. And he and I were talking about manuscript sermons. We were talking about those kind of things. And I said, it's kind of difficult for me because I'm so used to just teaching line by line. I'm not a section by section guy.
Right.
I'm not hey, look, let's read these 5 verses and this is the general. And it was a real challenge for me to be able to break something down into point 1, point 2, point 3 conclusion.
Right.
Because I'm so used to verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5, verse 6.
Right.
But the idea of trying to make the Bible more exciting, the Bible is exciting. I mean, it is so exciting. It's also crazy. I mean, the violence that's in the Bible, the crazy interpersonal things that are in the scriptures are just, they're, I mean, look, you just start reading it. You just start going, what is going on with these people? And that, to me, that's one of the apologetics, because the scripture is not whitewashed. It is not sterilized. It talks about the dirt and the nasty of God redeeming a broken people. And so you and I, as Christians, can receive that and can understand that. And so, and guys, listen, it's Friday. And before we go, a couple things real quick. This weekend,
Holy cannoli.
Tonight's ladies' night out. So ladies, come around 6. It's going to be great. Tomorrow morning, December 7th. And I want to encourage you guys, just take a moment, remember Pearl Harbor as well. But guys, it's men's breakfast. And there's a group of us also going to do some ministry at the Women's Correctional Facility tomorrow or Saturday morning. So tomorrow morning. So be praying for us as we go do that. It's a busy week. We've got some great things coming up. Don't forget, we've got our Christmas Eve services coming up on Christmas Eve. They're at 3, 5, and 7. And then we also have some wonderful things that are happening before that. We have a Wednesday night before Christmas. We have our carols and cookies exchange, and so we're going to have a big. We're going to invite people to come in. We're going to be singing Christmas carols and worship songs and exchanging cookies and have a great time of fellowship. It's our first annual one, so we're kind of excited about what we're going on there. So come and join us for that. That is on December 17th, so just a couple weeks away. Hey, listen, you're loved, your family. God bless you, and we will talk to you on Monday.
You've reached the end of another episode of Pastors Live, a Rev FM production podcast. Thank you for listening. Submit your questions and comments by email to pastorslive@therev.fm. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review from your favorite podcast listening platform. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon so you don't miss the next episode drop.